have a wife. Oh, get a load of this, right? A wife calls her mother-in-law in the middle of the night, and she says, "Hey, if your baby puked and pooped, who should clean it up?" And the mother-in-law says, "Well, the mother should clean it up, of course." Then the wife said, "Fine, get over here. Your son's come home drunk and he's really
Love
it. Short boy.
Okay. Now, here's a joke about a couple of farmers who ran into each other, right? One of them asked the other, "How's it going?" And the other farmer said, "Well, things could be a bit better, actually. I had to find my way out of that business that I started." The other one said, "Really?" Yeah, and the first farmer said, "Yeah, I did some research and found out that female cow manure has less nutrients than the male counterpart, male manure. Something to do with the nutrients finding their way into cow's milk instead or something like that. So I invested in some analysis and had a dairy all lined up to keep its manure separated so it would get premium for the manure from the male cows, right? Well, I didn't know that would actually work. What happened?" "Well, the first one said, I just couldn't find enough customers after the first round of sales. It was really disappointing." "Oh, that's too bad." "Yeah, everyone told me they don't want any more of my bullshit." Yeah, trying to sell bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. Ole, he walked into a saloon out in North Dakota the other day, and he was dressed in his finest cowboy outfit. He had his 10-gallon hat and his best chaps and his spurs on, and he was sitting there sipping a beer, and a good-looking young lady came in and sat next to him, and a few minutes later she was looking Ole up and down, and she asked, "Are you a real cowboy?" And Ole answers, "Yeah, I've been on a ranch all my life, roping cows, breaking horses, fixing fences, and chasing women. So yeah, I guess I am. And what are you?" And the young lady tells him, "Well, I've never been on a ranch, never roped a cow or broke a horse or mended fences, so I'm not a cowgirl. But I do think about women all the time. I wake up in the morning and think about women. When I eat and work and shop, all I think about is women. I'm a lesbian." A few minutes later, she gets up and leaves, and after a while, Sven walks in. He sits down to Ole and asks him, "Are you a real cowboy?" And Ole looks at Sven and tells him, "I thought I was, but I just found out I'm a lesbian."
That's great.
Sven and Ole, they heard of an organization that would pay $5,000 for every live wolf. They hunted for days up and down the mountains, and one night they fell asleep around their campfire. And in the middle of the night, Ole woke up and saw they were surrounded by 50 hungry, ferocious wolves. He said to Sven, "Wake up, Sven, we're rich."
That's great.
Well, it got cold in Minnesota, and the nudist camp put out a sign, and they said, "We're open, but we are closed." And there was this Norwegian midget who joined a nudist colony, but he was asked to leave because he kept poking his nose into everybody's business. They found a big hole in the wall around the nudist camp. The police are looking into it.
All right, now I got one joke here for you. What does necrophilia and alcoholism have in common?
No idea. That's a good one.
What? An irresistible urge to crack open a cold one.
Oh my God! Oh, ouch! Oh my God! Oh.
Sorry. Okay, here's one. Let's see. Friend, right? This guy has an officer for a friend and invites him along for a ride along, saying, "Why don't you see what it's like to ride along with the police for the night and see what, because we're encouraged to do this with the community. And the guy said, great, I'd love to see this, right? Anyway, they're driving along, right? And the guy says, I've been a cop for almost 20 years. I can follow anyone, and I mean anyone, for just 1 mile down the road, and I could find something that I could cite them for, right? And the guy's in the ride along, the civilian goes, well, prove it. I don't believe you. All right, then. Well, how about this one right here? He picks a car at random, right? And after a mile, he said, you know what? I can't believe it. He didn't do a single thing wrong. I'm just going to pull him over for a second and let him know, because this is the very first time I've ever seen this happen in this town, right? So he pulls the guy over, goes up and says, sir, I'm sorry I pulled you over. I just wanted to compliment you. I followed you for a while, and not once did you speed, change lanes without signaling, or do anything that deserves a citation. Well, this is the first time I've ever seen this in this town. I want to thank you for your safe driving. The guy looks up at him, he says, well, you got to be careful when you're drunk. And then he heard some thumping in the trunk that said, hey, are we across the border yet?
Are we there yet?
We there yet? All right. Anyway, and the last one I'm going to tell before passing off to high tech, it is my brother. Now this is some rather sad news. My brother did not take to going to jail very well. He took it very badly. This is what he did. He refused all offers of food and drink. He swore at anyone that tried to come near him, and he smeared the walls with his own feces. I'm telling you, we are never going to play Monopoly ever again. All right. With that, I'm going to head things off to High Tech. Get up here and tell us some jokes, please. High Tech.
All right.
Yay,